God, that performance is going to go down in history. Estevao is the most informed teenage talent currently playing football in the world. Estevao is a genuine superstar. Estevao is going to shine for Brazil at the World Cup next year. And Estevao is a Chelsea player. That dazzling burst of skill, the finish, it is the kind of goal that announces himself to the world. Chelsea fans have been talking about Estevao for a long time, but nobody has really been listening. Suddenly, the eyes of the world are on this prodigious, brilliant young talent. And what a night it was for him. He is undoubtedly the most informed teenage talent currently in world football. In fact, nobody comes close. He now has 6 goals in 9 games for Chelsea and for Brazil. Trust me on this. When people talk about who's going to win the World Cup, nobody's really talking about Brazil. There is a world in which this young superstar is capable of propelling Brazil to a World Cup. That is quite how good he is. I mean, he is just scintillating, unbridled talent, and it is a joy to watch him play. He is actually a tonic to the way that modern football is going. You know, like, modern football now is so symptomatic. It's so full of good system footballers. And suddenly what Chelsea have is a maverick, an artist, an unpredictable talent who cannot be restrained. He was just mesmerising. Lamine who is what I would say. Lamine who. You know, people want to constantly talk about Lamine Yamal, but I am afraid the superstar on the pitch was undoubtedly Estevao Willian. I mean, what a player he is. And because of him, and because of, so many Chelsea players played so well, we squeezed the life out of Barcelona. They had nothing to offer. Hansi Flick didn't know what to do. You know, he loves his high line. He trusts his high line. It was the genius of Enzo Maresca, to be fair, that exposed that. And as a result of Maresca getting it right, Estevao has announced himself to the world, and he has broken a record that just tells you quite how good he is. He is now only the 3rd teenager to score in each of his first 3 Champions League starts, after none other than Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland. That is how good he is. Like, I have seen Ronaldinho score at Stamford Bridge. I have seen Lionel Messi score at Stamford Bridge. I have now seen Estevao score at Stamford Bridge. I mean, these performances that we are finding, and Enzo Maresca deserves credit here. You know, I've been a critic of Enzo Maresca. You know, you think of the opportunities that we've had under him, and I don't think that he's always made the most of them. You know, losing at home to Brighton and Hove Albion, losing at home to Sunderland or whatever. But he is starting to find a rhythm. He's starting to find his feet. And when you think about the way that we played in New York City against Paris Saint-Germain, when you think of the way that we played against Liverpool at Stamford Bridge this year when Estevao Willian scored the winning goal, and when you think of the performance today, we were just brilliant. And Garnacho on the left, Estevao on the right, Maresca picking Pedro Neto to play as a central striker, primarily because of his unrivaled pace. That blistering pace that Pedro Neto has. When I was looking at the team, for 1 second it didn't make sense. And then you think about what Hansi Flick wants to do, and all of a sudden you're looking at it and you're going, of course, this is the pragmatic manager that we've been dreaming of. This is the manager that rolls with the punches and picks a team capable of winning on a particular occasion, rather than being obstinate and stubborn and wanting to play a very particular way. Looking at the opposition and working out ways of nullifying their excellence. Looking at the opposition and working out ways to make sure that you accentuate your positive to their detriment. And this new role for Reece James, sort of partnering Moises Caicedo in the midfield, that then allows Enzo Fernandez to play as a number 10, and he's dangerous there. Like, we had the ball in the back of the net about 6 times. You know, it really was the most one-sided game against Barcelona that I can think of. Like, Barcelona don't do well at Stamford Bridge. All right, we played them, 6-7 years ago when Willian scored and they ended up knocking us out when Lionel Messi scored. But generally speaking, they come to Stamford Bridge and they get beat. And Chelsea versus Barcelona is a European derby. It is the Classico of Europe. Our encounters with them, whether it was Frank Rijkaard, Pep Guardiola, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. It was always iconic, always hate-filled, always antagonistic. You think about the history of the two clubs. Think about Ronaldinho scoring that goal. Think about Frank Lampard scoring over there when he was basically behind the goal and chipped the keeper. Think about the goal that Ramirez scored. You think about all the moments that we have had against Barcelona. And this is another one. This night is another one of those outrageously brilliant nights. And we were so thoroughly deserving. It might be the most one-sided Chelsea-Barcelona encounter that I have ever seen. We played with such an intensity, such a ferocity, such a tenacity. Like the tempo, it really was reminiscent of how we played when we were doing really well in that Club World Cup. Like, we were just so dominant. And look, I said it before, but Barcelona don't really do well at Stamford Bridge. And this was no different. And it is the first time that Barcelona have failed to score in the Champions League under Hansi Flick. And when you think about Chelsea's frailties, our issues are our back line. Our issues are our keeper. And yet we kept Robert Lewandowski at bay. We kept Lamine Yamal at bay, if he was even on the pitch. We made it so easy. And that is just mesmerising. Like, I watched the game today with James Alcott, and both of us were in genuine awe about the way that Chelsea dictated the tempo, dictated the pace that the game would be played at, made it so difficult for Barcelona, gave them nothing, bullied them, showed them who was boss. It was men against boys. And suddenly you start thinking, can we do it? Like the prestige of Chelsea Football Club, we are always capable in Europe. We are a European powerhouse. Whenever we get to European finals, regardless of the form in the league, we do well. Think about it, every single time. Like, we were winning silverware before Liverpool. Liverpool are our country's greatest representative in Europe. Chelsea won our first European trophy in 1971. That was before Liverpool won any silverware in Europe. Like, we have always done well in European competitions. And it makes you wonder, are we going to be consistent enough to launch a serious and sustained bid to win a Premier League title? I would argue probably not. But can we beat anyone on our day? I would argue yes, as we have proved. And if we can do that, then maybe something magical could happen for us in Budapest. Maybe I will be adding another star to my Twitter and Instagram bios. I mean, it's unlikely I concede, but that was a statement result. It was a statement victory. And what that is going to mean, I now am starting to dream. We will make it through this Champions League. And I don't think there's any jeopardy in that anymore. You know, after the Baku result, I was a bit disappointed. I thought there was a problem, but I don't think that is the case anymore. Now I'm starting to dream. And that is what Estevao does. Think about how good we are. We haven't even got our best player in the team in Cole Palmer. Estevao and Cole Palmer in the team are capable of doing anything. With Moises Caicedo anchoring, we are capable of doing anything. And now we just have to use this as a springboard now. We've made mistakes in the league. You know, we've made mistakes losing to Sunderland, dropping points to Brentford. Now we have an opportunity. We have to focus on the Premier League, and it's Arsenal this weekend. So the question will be, are we title contenders? And I'm inclined to say no, but I think we can derail them. I think we can take 3 points off them. We are capable of raising the tide to play against anyone. And that performance tonight should suggest that we can do it. You know, it was like a coming-of-age moment. It was a coming-of-age moment for Estevao. And, you know, it's been a mixed season for us. It's been a mixed season for us this season. But if we can now beat Barcelona in the way that we have, beat Arsenal, anything is possible. I'm genuinely blown away by what I've seen tonight. I haven't been Enzo Fernandez's biggest fan, but I thought he was brilliant in that midfield. Caicedo is a dream. That challenge that he put in, it was Bobby Moore on Pele, man. It was amazing. And in Estevao, we have a world-class superstar. It's really important to remember that we are doing all of this without Cole Palmer. You know, previously, it felt like we struggled to win without him. It felt like we didn't have an answer without him. Even when we had other good players on the pitch, it felt like we were just finding Cole Palmer. Give the ball to Cole Palmer to get us out of trouble. Give the ball to Cole Palmer, hope that he can score a goal. Give the ball to Cole Palmer, hope that he can get us out of jail. Doesn't feel like that anymore. And when he is back to full fitness, playing alongside Estevao, I mean, something amazing could happen. And can we win a league? Probably not. Can we beat Arsenal? Absolutely. Will we make it incredibly difficult for Arsenal? Yes. Will we roll the red carpet out for Arsenal in the way that Tottenham did? No. Arsenal will come to Stamford Bridge and they will know that they have been in a fight. They will know. They will know that it has been tough. So I am dreaming that this can go our way. So we will have to wait and see. But it's a magical, magical day. because we have a genuine superstar on our hands in Estevao Willian. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please click subscribe. Please give it a like. Really interested to hear your thoughts on the points that I've raised. Ta-da. I will see you in a bit.